Hey everybody, welcome back. These people went from friends to foes in 10 seconds or less.
You suck because your brother's creepy.
Do you think you're pretty? I know I'm pretty.
Put a finger down if while you're in China, you're with two other people and someone who's considered to be your bestie, and you're walking in a mall and people are already staring at you. Obviously, it comes with the territory. And you're used to this. You know, you've been here for a few days now. You already had a shocker and stayed inside for 2 days, but you know you're ready now. And people staring at you and people saying weird comments, but you're like, at least I'm with people who at least I'm with a person who kind of understands my situation here. But then you come to look behind you and you see the person who's supposed to be considered your bestie keeping their distance from you and kind of like staying away from you. So then you go and ask them, why are you doing that? Whoa. Like, what's going on here? and they continue to say, they tell you, oh, it's just too much. Like, people keep staring at you and I can understand what they're saying. Like, I can't do it. I'm just going to stay over there. And you just was like, you know, trying to go backwards and trying to like, you know, join them and walk with them, and they're like trying to avoid you. Okay. Obviously, you kind of like take this with a pinch of salt. You're like, no, it can't be that bad. Anyway, you go and find somewhere to have dinner. Everything's good. You get back to the hotel and you bring up the situation again. You're like, what was that about? Why, when we were in a mall, you were keeping your distance from me and basically acting like the people around me that I don't know. And they continue to say, oh, you know, it just made me really uncomfortable. And, you know, I just, like, everyone was staring at you. And it just, like, it was too much. It was just way too much. I couldn't do it.
I'm sorry, if you're uncomfortable, imagine how your friend feels. Imagine. In that situation, if your response is anything other than,
what are you looking at? Sorry, can I help you?
someone's staring at your friend because she's different and your immediate reaction is not to back her up, you're just as bad. You are just as bad. I understand there's cultural differences and stuff, but like, you can stare, but like the words, like if you hear someone saying nasty things about your friend that like really should not be said, and your response is to like cower, if that doesn't give you like a literal visceral reaction, I don't know, man. I'd be on the next flight home.
And you proceed to say, what about me? How do
Period.
you think I felt in that situation when everyone else
Oh, babes.
was making me feel uncomfortable?
Yeah.
And I had my best friend.
No,
Keeping
don't
that
cry.
distance from me and making me feel like I did something wrong.
You did not. You didn't.
And then they tell you, oh, it was too much. I didn't want to be close to you because everyone was staring at you. And it made me feel really uncomfortable.
Oh, Bob
And I said,
Muffin.
how do you think I felt in that situation?
Yeah. Oh, you're so valid, baby girl. I'm so sorry. That's horrible. Yeah, that would, you'd quickly from friend become enemy in that instance, if I may say so.
You leave and you meet your, you know, a friend that you'd known for not as long, an online friend, and the same thing happens. And at this moment you're thinking, oh, no way, they're probably going to do the same thing because maybe I'm in the wrong. And instead they are, look at me, they can see me moving away. And instead, they pull me in and they were like, don't worry about them, they're all stupid, don't mind it. And they did that for like the whole time you were with them. They stayed close to you, and they made you feel like no one else was watching, and it's just a normal day. And it made you realize that actually what your friend did was wrong, and what you were feeling was right. You realise maybe they don't really care about your feelings.
No, they don't.
And they don't understand how that's supposed to make you uncomfortable, because you know that you would never do that to your friend, ever.
Period. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm just gonna get you a tissue. It's actually toilet paper, but here, I'm sorry. It's all I have. Here, take it. I'm so sorry. Oh, God. Horrible. Horrible. You know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of, like, getting, like, bullied. And, like, you know, you expect bullies to be bullies, right? But what you don't expect is your friends to not stick up for you. That's probably, like, the hardest part, honestly, to have friends that were watching you be disrespected, watching people harass you, watching people, you know, really make you angry and sad and hurt your feelings. And the friends to just do absolutely nothing. They were more concerned about, like, how doing something in defense of their friend would affect their social standing or would put them in the line of fire. It reminds me of that. And believe me, that happened a lot. I know I can't exactly relate, and I never will be able to, but it does remind me of that, of feeling like your friends don't have your back when they should. Because all it really takes is a friend to, like, you know, maybe they don't get in somebody's face, but they comfort you. You know, that's all your friend did. You didn't even know her that well, but, you know, she comforted you. She just kind of, like, just said, just ignore them. Like, it's fine. Like, she made you feel better instead of making you feel worse. Okay, that's what friends are supposed to do. I'm so sorry that happened. And believe me, you don't have a new enemy now. I also have a new enemy. Don't cry over that, girl. Period. Yeah, the fact that this was, like, someone you considered a best friend too, absolutely not. That is not your friend. I would have held your hand and we walked together with our heads held high, babes. I'm so sorry. Literally, like, wow. It's like you can expect bullies to be bullies, but you can't expect a friend to betray you like that. Like, that is the part that hurts the most, right? Horrible. I'm so sorry.
Story time, how I found out one of my friends was actually behind a hate account for me.
Oh.
Now I have, like, crippling trust issues with
Whoa.
friends, but this is the story. This Instagram account was sending me all these, like, really disgusting messages for, like, months. I didn't really think anything of it. And I was just like, whatever, that's just something that comes with doing social media. So, like, I didn't block them or anything. I was just like, okay, whatever. They ended up saying something really not about me, but about someone else that is very close to me. So I blocked them, okay? So I was away for ages because for the first kind of half of the year, I spent all my time in Sydney. I come home to my hometown and I go out because I haven't been out in ages, and she comes up to me and she's like, girl! I was having a conversation and I'm just like, how are you going? She's like, I'm going great. Oh my God, you're doing so well. I was like, thank you so much. She goes, did I do something to you? And I was like, no. I was like, what are you talking about? And she was like, why did you block me on Instagram? And I was like, I didn't block you on Instagram. And she was like, yes,
Wait,
you did.
what?
You blocked me on Instagram. And I was like, I didn't block you on Instagram. I don't really block people on Instagram unless it's like
They do something to deserve
like
it.
I have a reason to. So I was like really
Yeah.
confused. She's like, look. So I looked at her phone and yeah, she was blocked. Someone even sent her my profile and like it said account not found. I was like, that's so weird. I'll unblock you. Like
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, I realized what just happened. I just realized it. So on Instagram, I don't know if you've ever blocked anybody before. I've blocked plenty. I love blocking people. It's the best. I won't block people for no reason. If you say something mean to me for no reason, I will block you. When you block someone on Instagram, you can also choose the option block and any other accounts they have. Yeah. She didn't block her friend. She blocked the offending account, but the offending account was also linked to the main account.
fast forward a couple months. I didn't think anything of it because I genuinely didn't have a reason to block her, so I was really confused why I did, and I just thought, oh my God, like sometimes I get a bit drunk and like, I don't know, maybe I just did it because, I don't know, whatever. I'm at an event in Sydney and I'm talking to some of the girls about hate and stuff, and this girl was like, yeah, but it's fine because if you block them, then it blocks their main account as well.
Yep.
What? And I was like, what do you mean it blocks
Yeah.
their main account as well? I didn't know this. And she was like, yeah, like if someone's sending you hate, you just block them, and then it like blocks their main account as well because
Yeah.
usually people will send you hate from a fake account. So I was like, is that so? Is that so? Okay, my life. I spiraled, and I was like, oh my God. And then she's like, yeah, and you can also find their phone number if you go to log into their account, click forgot password, and then it gives you the last digits or the first digits of their phone number. I'm like, can you please do it on my phone just to see if this girl is this girl? Because this girl came up to me saying I blocked her, but the only person I've blocked lately is this hate account. So I go to my unblocked list, I unblock the Instagram account, and then she on my phone, this girl, legend, she like tries to log in, and she's like, see what? She presses forgot password, and then it comes up with this number. Blurred out except the last couple digits or the first couple digits. And I was like, I go into my contacts and they match. That girl was the girl who was sending me hate, blackmailing me, threatening me, saying disgusting things about people very close to me. I didn't even confront her about it. I just have not spoken to her since. I guess she knows now. If someone in your hometown is pursuing social media, that doesn't make you any hotter, better, or anything. It just makes you look like Please just support people, because people come to me all the time being like, I want to start social media, but I'm scared of what other people will think. So please don't be
Oh, Lord have mercy. This is so messed up. Yeah, because like, how do you even like confront that person? That is so unbelievably juicy. Like in that kind of scenario, like I would literally film it. Like, no, because why are you doing that? Listen, as someone who's been on the internet for a while, someone who makes content, I've learned that not only participating in negativity, but also creating negativity. I've never been so miserable in my whole life. Like literally never. Never. You know, like I really do try to like respond to all of your comments, you know, at least the top comments as much as possible. But, you know, there is a reason why I don't spend a lot of time in comment sections anymore. And it is because I cannot like when someone says something mean to me, I gotta snap back. Like, you know, like But I find that the more you participate in that, the more psychotic and paranoid and unhappy you become. Like, and maybe there are some people who can participate in stuff like that and completely emotionally detach. But like, if your purpose of going on the internet is to like send mean things and post mean things, post things with malicious intent, send nasty emails and messages, aren't you like unhappy? Like, doesn't that make you unhappy? Because it made me really unhappy, and I just want the best for you, okay? I genuinely, this is not about this anymore, but it is. It's just concerning to me. Because, like, what would really possess someone to go out of their way to send messages like that? Like, threatening messages, like, you must be unhappy. Like, you must be. The internet can be a really, really sad place, a really scary, mean place. Let's not participate in that. Because the only person you're hurting, honestly, well, yeah, you're hurting the people that you're writing the mean things about, but I bet you anything it hurts you more if you have any sort of conscience whatsoever. And to her point, you know, about having a friend that does social media, I know everybody kind of likes to shit on content creators, but what we do is actually quite a vulnerable thing. We're putting ourselves out on the internet daily, opening ourselves up to criticism. The whole world is criticizing us at once sometimes, it feels like. We certainly don't need that from our friends. Public humiliation is the only way to stop them. Like, if someone touched me in public, I would literally scream at them. I actually did this recently. I was at a party, and it was a Halloween party, and there's this guy going around doing creepy shit. Like, he was like, just like trying to talk to like all the women. It wasn't guys. It was very specifically women going around, like kind of like saying hi, like, you know, touching as he walked past, little things like that. And he wasn't doing it to everyone. He was doing it to the women. So I know the guy who's throwing this party, and I'm like, hey,
Who's that guy over there?
every time I look at him, he's making a woman uncomfortable. And they were like, oh yeah, no, that guy's married. And I'm like, even worse! Even worse. I made it my own personal mission to go around to every woman he talked to see if they were uncomfortable. Because maybe, I don't know, maybe they were enjoying it, but he was married, just FYI. So like, I really didn't like that. So I went around, you know, I gathered some intel, and I was like, is that guy making you uncomfortable? I was also dressed as Cruella de Vil. That made it even better. Maybe if I wasn't dressed as Cruella de Vil, I wouldn't have approached the situation the same way. But like, the energy, the Cruella energy was giving that night. I'm going up to people. Cruella de Vil is just being like, sorry, did that guy just like make you really uncomfortable? And they're like, yeah. It's like, yeah, he's doing that to everybody. So after, I go back to the people that are throwing this Halloween party and I say, yo, like, I've heard from at least 4 women that this dude is making them uncomfortable. And he's also married. Can you go and like tell him to stop? It was actually interesting how their first reaction was,
oh, he's married. He couldn't be doing that.
I beg to differ. Anyways, in my personal opinion, there were enough offending moments that guy should have been kicked out of the party. Because it got to the point where I was so uncomfortable and he kept coming up to me that I did this. Hi. Yeah. You see that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, bye. Like, I made a scene. Like, I literally made a scene. And honestly, that didn't necessarily stop him. Like, I think he felt bad in that moment.
You're just like, oh, so sorry.
It's like, okay, so what about your wife that's at home? Anyways, this is a very long-winded story, but I think relevant to this. And it's just interesting how, like, when we are saying that there's someone that is, making us uncomfortable, doing things that are really inappropriate, we're not saying it lightly, okay? Of course, there are some people who are, lying about it and they give everyone else a bad name. But if you're being told by multiple people that there's a dude that's being creepy, cut him out. You're done.
I recently just ended a 3-year friendship with one of my best friends, and this is why. But I feel kind of bad about it. I tend to do things without thinking too much. Like, I tend to just go with my gut instincts, and I need your guys' advice. You know those people who are kind of like overly friendly? They have like this amazing talent of being able to talk to anybody and hold a conversation with anybody and make everyone kind of feel special in the room. I love those people, but it's just like slightly like a little bit sus. We jumped into a friendship. It was kind of weird. She would always invite me to go out to parties and stuff and like go to the bar. It kind of became like one of the only things that we would ever do together. She would invite me out to these little events and these little get-togethers on like a Tuesday. This girl would do that almost every single day of the week. She wouldn't go to school the next day. I would go over to her dorm and we would get ready to go out and go do something. Her like overly niceness would turn into kind of these snarky passive-aggressive comments. I was just doing my eyeshadow or whatever, and she looks at me and she's like, how do you feel comfortable wearing that much makeup? How do you do it? I just really love clean girl makeup. It looks so mature and just like, you're not trying too hard. I was like, clean girl makeup doesn't really suit everybody though. It favors more Eurocentric, like white girl
Period.
standards a little bit. She's like, yeah, you're right. You're probably right. It was like 7 p.m. and I started getting hungry. So I asked her if she wanted to order DoorDash. She's like, I'm good. I don't eat fast food that much and I just bought groceries. I would offer you some, but I know that you hate healthy foods. Sometimes I just felt like she was just disgusted by me. Like, it made me think, okay, are you really my friend or are you just my friend because you don't have any other friends? I left her dorm to go to the party, got into the Uber, drove all the way to the party. And as we're walking outside of the Uber to the front steps, she turns to me and she goes, you're so brave for wearing slides out to a party. I could never wear slides to a party. I would feel like a bum.
Just stop talking.
Until after we left her house because she knew it would be too late for me to change my shoes. The night goes on. She's off talking to a bunch of guys. So one of the guys that was originally talking to her leaves her and comes up and starts talking to me. I tell the guy, sir, I have a boyfriend. You're wasting your time. Out of nowhere, while I'm talking to this guy, for probably less than 5 minutes, to be honest, she comes up to me, runs up to me. She's like, come to the bathroom with me. Pulls me away into the bathroom. We're in the bathroom. She's looking at herself in the mirror, looks at me, dead in the eye. Do you think you're pretty? She turns back to the mirror. She looks at herself.
Creepy.
Dead in the eye, in the mirror. I know I'm pretty. Okay. Opens the bathroom door and leaves. As more people are filtering out, the guys who were throwing the party were like clearly getting more and more desperate. So I was minding my own business, and at one point, this group of like 5 guys comes up to me, and they kind of swarm me, and they're talking to me, and they're like, what's your name? What's your Snapchat? What's your major? All this stuff. And I'm like, okay, guys, I did not come here to find a man. I have a boyfriend. I'm taken. And even if I wasn't taken, I would not find a guy that's partying on a Tuesday.
I love it when it's like, that time of night. That time of night That's like 1:30 a.m. and everybody starts to get a little desperate. I call it the witching hour. Wait, is it the witching hour? Desperado hour. No, dude, there's literally a time in the night where you will leave the bar and there's everybody like on the street and stuff like that. And they're just trying to pick off the sick ones, you know? Everybody's just looking for someone who's dumb and drunk to go home with them. Just reminded me of that, sorry. I feel like I've reacted to this before. I remember that nose contour. Anybody else remember that nose contour? It's very specific. I really like it. Anyways, we're already too far in. Cause I'm in too deep and I'm trying to keep the raw time of this video longer than 30 minutes.
While I'm telling these guys to go kick rocks, I notice her looking at me from the kitchen. She then runs up to me again and says, I need you for a minute. Grabs my arm again, pulls me into the hallway. I'm like, oh nice, I have a good friend who's saving me from these random gross ugly dudes. But nah, she looks at me and she goes, I'm your friend and I'm just trying to be real with you. I'm just trying to be really real, like so real. It looks like you look really desperate and it's embarrassing. I was like, okay, yeah, no, I'm done. I'm done. I said, I'm gonna go home now. And I left. I got an Uber and I left. Went to bed, no text from her. She didn't call me, anything. She didn't even question it. I just left, never heard from her. The next morning, I wake up to my boyfriend who had sent me a screenshot. This DM'd him at 2 a.m. Hey, I'm on campus right now and I'm scared to walk to my dorm alone. Will you come walk me to my room?
Good story.
Hey, period. Like just you or, yes, it's just me. I have work tomorrow and I'm in bed. Period. Sorry. Period. No one else I know is awake. Please. And then she uses the emoji. He didn't reply. She double texted him saying, I know you're a sweet guy and you don't have to worry about her getting mad. Again, he didn't reply. Third text. I've always thought you were sweet. My man is loyal, so you thought. So she has not tried to contact me yet. This was 3 days ago. Unfortunately, though, I have school on Tuesday. So we're going to see each other eventually. Just like in simple terms, what do I do?
You show her the messages that she sent your boyfriend. Oh my God, isn't that so funny?
Isn't that so funny?
I swear, I really don't miss being young. You know, like everybody's like, you're old now. Babes, this is what it's like going to school. This is what women are like. They don't change, okay? They just get sneakier. They get sneakier about it. No, women who are jealous of you don't just pull you into the bathroom and say, you look like a That is something reserved for the far more inexperienced in playing jealous women chess. I'm not very good at that. I just prefer to just not be jealous. I don't know. It's kind of difficult. Sometimes I get jealous. Honestly, like speaking from experience, it doesn't really change all that much. They just get better at hiding the comments. They get better at like making them a little bit backhanded, finding opportune moments to like make you insecure, being a little sneakier about it. Like maybe you have a dress that you really like and they, for whatever reason, tell you not to wear it, even though it looks really good on you. They'll do shit like that, stuff that's not easily traceable, because this is chess, not checkers, babe. But yes, I would argue that pulling your friend into a bathroom when she's getting male attention and calling her would turn you from friend to foe in 10 seconds or less.